Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018, and here are some of today's trends in the news. October 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, Sunday, right here in Kingston, down on the waterfront, the Rondout, the Italian festival. Amore, pace e amore, peace and love. See if you can make it. I'll be there selling these t-shirts to the Italian American Foundation. Be a great time, and my time is peace and love. I could say that now, and Me Too can't get after me because I got it right here on my shirt. So, on to the markets. Nikkei down, Shanghai up, Hang Seng down, up a little bit in Europe, up here in the States. Oil up, gold down a bit, and so too Bitcoin. Dow hits record earlier in day, but stocks little changed as rising rates spook investors. Not investors, gamblers. Investors. Yeah, so the rates are going up. And we heard from Mr. Powell, the Fed chair. He said we're a long way from neutral on interest rates, indicating that more are coming. Okay. He said the central bank has a ways to go before it gets interest rates to where they are neither restrictive nor accommodative. Quote, the really extremely accommodative low interest rates that we needed when the economy was quite weak, we don't need anymore, he said. Powell also said that he argued that wage growth need not trigger too much inflation. Yeah, you know why? Because wage growth stinks. And he also said the link between tight labor markets and inflation has been, quote, greatly reduced. And you know why? The reason why is that I wrote this 20 years ago in the TrendsJournal that no one is talking about. And that is the 5-0 formula. And it's very simple. It's in your August TrendsJournal. Overproduction. There are more products and services that can be consumed. Overcapacity. There's a glut of advanced facilities and excess service capabilities supply the world marketplace with more than can be consumed. Open markets. A borderless new millennial marketplace provides products and services free from traditional economic channels. Now, remember, I wrote this 20 years ago. And overpopulation. Companies are now positioned to exploit a 6 billion plus labor pool without geographic constraints. Add another billion plus people since then. And then finally, online, a planet full of browsers will enable and drive a universal economic culture of cheap product and service production supported by cheap labor expenses. Not for nothing, this should win an economic award. No one has put this together like this. And that's the fact. They're bragging that Amazon's going to pay the people in Slavelandia $15 an hour. Yeah, wonderful. So, higher interest rates. And what else do we have? Oil prices rose Wednesday, touching a fresh 4-year high as markets focused on upcoming U.S. sanctions on Iran and shrugged off a surprisingly big build in U.S. crude stockpiles and reports that both Saudi Arabia and Russia were going to increase production. What does this mean? It's your trend alert. Your trend alert. New trade deal, no big deal. This will make and break the markets. Remember, we have been saying there's going to be trade deals made. There's too much profit that the countries that are making all this dough, they're not going to give it away. They'll cut a deal, and they did. And the markets went up on the news. But they didn't go up on the trade and tariff news. They went up because of other issues. Because if it was trade and tariff issues, and now the NAFTA deal is being reworked, we would see these markets skyrocketing. And again, the markets went up today on news of higher levels of people seeking jobs and elements of a stronger economy, not trade and tariff deals. So the markets went down from their high today and closed up just a bit. It's oil prices and interest rates. Want any more facts? We got them here. Higher interest rates? More it costs to buy a home. Bad news for home sellers. Dallas-Fort Worth has one of the biggest U.S. home listing gains. The Dallas and the Fort Worth area ranked 8th among 10 major U.S. markets, with the greatest increase in home listings in September. You ready for this? Up 14% from the same period a year ago. And nationwide, more than 465,000 new for-sale listings entered the market in September, up 8% from a year ago. The greatest home listing gains were in San Jose, up 113%. Seattle, 43%. Ranked by percentage rise since September 2015. Higher interest rates? Auto sales weakened as new trade pact and tariffs loom over industry. You know what that is.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
It's horse shit. Auto sales are down because of tariffs? No. It's because people don't have the dough to buy them. Period, paragraph. And remember that Trump tax plan that was going to shovel more dough in our pockets? And I said that was a load of...
Warning, bullshit alert.
The money's going to go into stock buybacks and merger and acquisition activity. And that's where it went, and not into capital improvements. Tax cuts, this isn't from the World Socialist Organization. This is from the Wall Street Journal today. Tax cuts have limited effect on pay. U.S. companies are putting savings from their corporate tax cuts to use, but only a fraction of it is flowing to employees' wallets. New data shows. They list 3 different surveys that were done. One shows 14% were putting part of their tax cut into savings. Another one showed 4% are redirecting tax savings to budgets for bigger paychecks. And another one by the consulting firm AON PLC, 99% said the tax cuts weren't prompting them to increase minimum wage. Great. The rich get richer and everybody else is getting poorer. And goes back to raising interest rates. And what's the other one? Oil prices. You're paying $4 a gallon over there in parts of California. You go around the world, interest rates go up, currencies go down. What's oil based in? Petrodollars. Oh, you mean that rupee over there in India that hit a new low? And 80% of their energy is imported? And they got to buy it in dollar base? And this is going on around the world. Read your trend alert. It's history before it happens. And gold prices, again, they're down because the dollar's going up. End the story on that. But we believe gold is at the bottom, as I said this many times. You're seeing gold floating around this level, and with crises adding up in the Middle East, particularly going after Iran and what's going on in Syria, if there's an explosion of any kind in the Middle East, gold, we forecast, is going to rally heavily. And what else do we have here? Comcast eyes sixth largest corporate debt sale in history to fund Sky takeover. And what's going to happen when interest rates go up? Yeah, those debt loads go up all over the world of $250 trillion worth of global debt. Texas hospital, giants plan to merge. Great. Keep working for your multinational plantations. Let the big get bigger. Merger, more borrowed money. And what else do we have here? Pope's approval rating hits low point. You know what I thought of the Pope from the beginning. And remember, I'm Catholic, so it's not about I'm anti-Catholic. I just think this guy, I said it from the beginning, another Obama, full of...
That was bullshit.
You got it. Puts on the act and doesn't deliver. France targets Iranians over bomb plot. Paris freezes the assets of intelligence agency services and diplomats after foiled. Again, it's heating up going after Iran. This comes as a surprise. Corruption purge destroys faith in Brazil's political class. What class? Politicians have no class. Look up the definition in Google. They're manipulative and devious, typically to gain advancement within an organization. Name the country. It's filled with political freaks telling you what to do and how to do it. Some nice war news. Innocents are perishing in airstrikes. UN warns. Afghanistan. The number of civilians killed by Afghan and American airstrikes is rising, the United Nations said. So what? It's only civilians. Nothing is covered about war in the American media. The deadliness of it, the cost of it, the destruction of entire societies. But hey, did you hear about this guy Kavanaugh, what he did when he was 17 years old? Look, I think the guy's a jerk anyway, and only jerky guys do that, particularly the ones that are spoiled. But hey, sex sells. Peace and love, dirty words, but not in Kingston and not at the Italian festival this Sunday. Saudi airstrike kills family of 3 in northwest Yemen. Who cares? Gaza, teenager killed by Israeli tear gas canister, 15-year-old boy. That marks over 200 people killed since the protests began in March, and about 18,000 wounded. They're living in an outdoor concentration camp, and the world doesn't care. We have to help them. Syrian Kurdish leaders see new U.S. interest. President Donald Trump's announcement in April that he wanted to pull U.S. troops out of Syria may have changed. 6 months later, as the battle against the Islamic State draws to a close, Syrian Kurdish leaders see signs of renewed U.S. interest in the oil-rich region they control in northern and eastern Syria. This is a Reuters report, so it's not being slanted. Oil-rich. And what was Libya? One of the richest of oil-rich. Hey, and how about that Iraq, huh? Was that oil-rich? No. Their major exports were broccoli. It's all about money. It's all about power. It's all about the mental illness of the politicians running and ruining a nation near you. Remember, amore and Pace y amore. Peace and love. It'll beat war anytime. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.